Alright, so hello and welcome to SRL League Season 4, Round 5 around Abu Dhabi. I'm Sondre Sorhaug, joined by Jared Fosbury today. We've had some
Good
issues with
evening.
my game freezing, so we had to restart the stream. First time I've had that issue, but we're gonna start off where we left. So, um, I think we were about to guess our two front rows for the quali, wasn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first off, the two front rows will depend, I got to say, because it depends who will choose to start on the hypers. I would not start on the hypers, to be honest. I would start on the ultras, as it's a much better strategy.
Yeah, because hypers don't last long. I think they only last like 6 laps, 6, 7 laps.
Yeah, the hypers last, like, they're good for 4 laps,
Ooh. Prague is getting
and
holded
then
up
they're
on his lap.
fading off fast.
Looks like Sandro might have gone
Yeah,
Prague's way
Praga
a little bit.
is...
136.5 on supers. That's not bad, especially if
Yeah, no, that's not bad at
Mercedes
all.
drivers set hypers were 136 flat.
Well, first off, did you say Matthew chose to leave?
Whoa, Prague, what are you doing?
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm not sure. What were you doing then?
What was that? I did not get
I
a
don't
good
know.
picture at it, but
He just
kind of
like
looked.
cut the corner a bit. I don't know if he did that intentionally. I understand if he's a bit annoyed by Sandro, but Sandro was about to start his lap, so he can't really back off that much.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, back to the front rows. I would say that we will see Francis McGinn on pole.
Let's begin.
Second, I would say Vasilius Balaziotis. Yeah, probably pronouncing it wrong. That is first and second. Third and fourth, I would say Lewis Marshall, and I'm gonna put my faith in Sandro for fourth placing
Sandro.
quality. So Francis, Vasilius, Marshall, Sandro. Yeah. So, guess it's your turn then.
I'm gonna go Lewis, Matthew, Sandro, and then Francis for fourth. Marshall
Matthew. Did
first.
Matthew leave?
No, Matthew's back, I think.
Alright, alright. Oh, well, that changes my option then. Then it would be Matthew, Francis, Vasilius, Marshall. I mean, Matthew is. Alright, so the Fox has also given a prediction in the live stream chat. He's saying McGinn takes pole, Alder gets the win, Marshall gets second, Francis gets third.
Right.
Well,
Now
I
I'm on
mean,
board with
he
Cameron Weston
he
Edwards on
does
the lap.
commentate more SRL races than us, so it's
Yeah,
probably
so
not
you
a
might know who
bad
he's
thing to
picking.
listen to him either.
What's Cameron going to set on his super
And
softs?
oh
But
yeah, that's right.
137.1.
Yeah, 37-1
Sixth
from
place.
on the supers though. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he beats his
definitely
teammate who's on Hypersofts.
he's probably gonna go over to the ultras at the end of the quali,
Yeah, because I wouldn't start on the
as we
supers
are
unless I'd
looking
start.
at Jesper Lempinen going around on his lap now. He's on the hyper, so oh, he got a big tank slapper out of the chicane after the first long straight. 3 poles so far this season for McGinn, but only 1 win. Interesting, Kamikaze. Well, I remember McGinn were on for a win last time out when I was commentating for Bahrain, I think it was. But he had a spin which lost him the win there.
Yeah. I don't even think he's on. I think he's on his lap now.
Well, I'm gonna take a look at him as soon as Lempinen is done with this last few corners. Oh no,
Oh, he did
he's
see
slowed
that.
down
Must be invalid.
for McGinn.
Yeah, he went on first corner. He just ran really wide.
Ah, yeah, his lap is.
Yeah,
um,
invalid. So who else is on the lap?
Vasilius, I think. I think he's on the. Well, nah, he's not on the lap. I don't know if it's showing right for me or not, but it says he's been on his lap for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was like that with his teammate Francis. So I think he's on a lap now.
Alright.
Oh, he just keeps that within track limits.
Well, Vasilius is on his lap now for India. I believe he won the first race of the season, but I think he's missed a few races or something. But he's not in the lead. That is Marshall.
Yeah. Well, Marshall was the last winner of this race, this track.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He could win it. So he might have some tricks up his sleeve. Can't count
I
out.
mean, I definitely think Marshall can win it, but I also believe it will be hard for him to keep up with Francis. I think Vasilius too. I think Vasilius is a pretty fast driver. Can't remember exactly, as I haven't seen Vasilius drive that much, but in the last sector now, I don't think that time will be that good.
1:34.6 and Hypers off 2 laps. Hypers off.
Oh, he's got to make another lap though, then, because those hypers will be good for 2 or 3 laps in the race probably. Big tank slapper in the last corner for Vasilius. He
I think that
does
ruined his
manage.
pole. He could have had pole, I think, there if he didn't have that tank slapper.
I mean, it's hard to say how much he lost in that last corner, but he definitely lost time.
Yeah, he's only a 10th off. Jesper, yeah.
Francis should be on a lap now, shouldn't he? Yeah, he should be on the lap.
Yeah, he is.
On the super soft, I guess it could be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see if he would start on the super soft, because then he's going to run a long first stint. And around that wasn't invalidated? Alright.
Wow.
Well, a 34.9 on the supers. Does he have enough time to get in?
Yeah, he has sacks of time.
4 minutes? Yeah, I guess, yeah. Alright, so from what Kamikaze is telling me, Jesper did have 1 pole from last year at Monza, so maybe this is his 2nd pole. I don't know. As you can see, we do have Vasilius who... Yeah, well, that depends if Vasilius wants to improve. That probably means going on to a new tire.
I think Matthew actually isn't here because he hasn't even gone out and done a lap.
Nah. I did not see how Marusic ended up crashing out of the quali, but I do know that we won't see Samuel Brandt doing any laps as he has a quali ban. So he's going to be starting at the back row.
Yeah, he could either decide to do a long strategy, or he could decide to do a very aggressive strategy with the hypersofts.
Oh, it looks like the Renaults might be doing some tactics here.
Yeah, I've just got on board there.
It does look like 711 was giving slipstream to. Oh!
What happened?
Or, no, I'm not sure. He almost rear-ended Rene van der Stap into that chicane. I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe he
he's
didn't
absolutely
want to.
flying right now. Still stuck in 7th, though. He's not going 8th. I was quite surprised. I'd have gone
Uh,
8th there.
yeah.
That's a few people like staying in some gears.
Well, I mean, we're getting to the end of the session now. My guess
Yeah.
for the 2 front rows is totally off at the moment.
Yes, and
Well, I mean,
oh no,
Francis.
Francis and Sandra still 3rd and 4th.
Francis
Oh,
might. Ooh, and Vasilius on 3 laps also Ultrasoft right now.
oh
Has.
no, the Renault. Renault
Yeah,
is just like going backwards, and now he's going backwards.
interesting.
Bit
As we can
dangerous
see,
there, but oh,
Sandro, I don't
Sandro's
know,
oh, retired.
did he just retire or?
I'll have a look now.
Well, we do have Jesper
Yes,
Lempinen
retired.
out again, and you know what? Let's take a look at Nick van Gelder in the Red Bull. He's supposed to be on a fast lap now. It says
No,
5
he's on an
minutes,
outlap
sector
currently.
2, so that
Yeah, he's
is
on an
that
outlap.
should be an outlap. Let's get back to it now.
Lewis
Dion
Marshall is on a
Stahl,
lap.
Marshall is on a lap, alright.
Yeah,
He's out on the
not being in
ultras.
place.
So at the moment it's looking like most, well, nah, there is actually a pretty good split between people on ultras and people on hypers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If Marshall doesn't get pole, all he has to do is be patient. He moves to 6th from 8th, and I think
Well,
that's it. Yeah.
Marshall did improve, but
And now he's retired.
his Francis, I guess, should be
Is
starting a
Francis
lap.
actually going to be able to get around?
Ooh.
Pretty
Yeah,
close.
he's going to make it around. And he will be starting his lap now. In the meantime, I think Lempinen is in the second sector. He's on hypers, so he's definitely going for pole position.
Yeah.
Francis, though, on the Ultrasoft now. Can he take his 4th pole of the year? Of the season, would be more correct.
Jesper's
Nick
absolutely
van
flying right now.
Gelder should be on a fast lap now too, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed Cameron also is on a fast lap on ultras.
Alright, we have Lempinen in the last corner. He will
He
set
goes
at 34.6 and it is pole.
1:34.6.
Provisional pole. We have Francis
Cameron is
in the
next now.
second sector.
Who comes on set?
Cameron on ultras will go
1:35.8.
8th. I guess.
Answer. So who's it? Who's first? Oh no, it's the Red Bull driver. Nick.
Yeah, Nick van Gelder will be the next, and Francis will be the last driver. And Nick goes around the last corner on Hypersoft tires. It will not. It.
Oh.
No, it was not pole. It was fourth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Fourth and
Francis,
fifth on
he's going into the last corner in a moment too. Will he get pole? He has a tank slapper, but
Yes, he
I'm not
got it.
actually sure.
He
Was
got
it pole?
pole. Yeah, he got pole.
Oh, he did. It's his 4th pole of the season. He's on the best strategy possible, in my opinion. Unless he does something like he did last time out in Bahrain, spinning. Yeah, I think he should be
Yeah.
able to take the win. I got to say though, I really don't know if Matthew Older is racing or if he's not, but if he's racing, he's gonna be starting in 13th. I mean, that could be interesting. For the top 10, then we have Francis McGinn, Jesper Lempinen, Vasilius. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with his first name. Nick Van Gelder in 4th, Sandro Dulis in 5th, with Dion Stahl in 6th, his teammate. Lewis Marshall in 7th, Cameron Weston Edwards in 8th. And this name is slipping for me. Funs van Hoekten. Yeah. And Sam van Elven in 10th. So, as far as I can remember then, Francis is on Ultrasoft. Lempinen is on Hypersoft.
Yeah. So you're probably going to get a better go with Jesper.
Vasilius was on Ultras too, I think. Then I
Yeah.
think Nick, Sandro, and Dion all were on Hypers. And Marshall, Weston, Edwards should. Oh, look at that. The Haas is impatient.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
Lewis
god.
Marshall has collided with the Force India.
What was that? Yeah, that's probably gonna be talked about. Well, let's mention some of the drivers we haven't mentioned yet. Then we have Samuel Brandt starting in 14th. Jure Marusic starting in 15th. Irfan Daniel starting in 16th. Jan Holm in 12th, and it looks like pretty much half the grid has been disqualified from the formation lap. So, yeah. Usually we see most of the drivers completing the formation lap, but that's how it goes sometimes,
I feel like
guess.
Jesper might get the lead into turn 1 since he's on Hypers if he gets a good getaway.
Yeah, of course, that is the scenario here for Francis. He needs a good getaway because his tires won't be faster than Lempinen's for the first few laps. And yeah, I don't know.
Patient as well.
That could be the same thing for Vasilius. He's got to watch out for I think it was Nick, Sandro, and Dion all on Hypers. All of these guys on Hypers will be looking for good starts and, well, getting ahead of the Ultras runners, because if they don't, they're pretty much screwed. They will struggle to. Alright, this is not the best screen, but I'm gonna stick with it. 4, 5 red lights, and it's a hold. There we go, and it looks like it is a good start for Lempinen. And Francis will lose the position to Lempinen. Will he lose it to Vasilius too? I see they're going 3 wide in the background. I did not exactly see who that is, but...
there's... the Toro Rosso, I think, and the Mert must have gone collided.
Yeah, that looks like there has been a collision between them. Yeah, but back to the midfield, where we see that the 2 Ferraris are battling with Nick Van Gelder. Sandro has gotten past him. Dion will be looking to getting past him too, but at the moment it's Nick doing the move on Sandro.
So he's trying to take the lead. It's Jesper who's got a better exit, it looks like.
Oh yes, look at it. And look at Vasilius. The other Force India might be looking for a move on Jesper, and they're 3 wide. Vasilius, and McGinn has to cut the corner. is ending up behind them. Considering he
Cameron's
had
to
ended up
Edwards is
behind
absolutely
them.
flying.
Oh yeah, look at this. He's up to 6th place now, but Marshall though, he's in 8th. I don't know, has he lost a position then? Or 2?
No, I think that's what he said. Oh, and the Ferrari has just lost it. He's lost this bit of his wing.
Oh yeah, that's a shame for him. The Ferraris were both sitting in good positions.
Oh, if he's not careful. There we go, he's back on.
And look at this.
Back to neutral.
Lempinen is trying to pull a little away right now, and I can see that the timings on my screen are totally off.
Oh, it's Francis did a huge cut. I feel like Francis is now struggling with grip or something, because he's went really wide.
Interesting, and getting some
This
input
Marshall
from
is
the
trying to
Fox,
pass
saying that
Cam
Van Gelder had
Edwards.
his worst outing last race, while Sandro had his best.
Marshall making it on the inside of Cameron. Marshall, you got to give him room. A little bit of wheel barging.
Oh yeah, look at these 3 guys. Rene, Marshall, and Cameron. Will Cameron go defensive into this corner?
Oh,
Ooh, looks... Oh, I'm getting a great picture here. Going through the chicane, but Marshall is passed. And the cars are really tight at the moment.
as I've noticed, Matthew is in this fight as well. Matthew just has to buy his time. We know he's a quick driver. He's just got to relax and chill out.
Yeah, Matthew has also decided to start on the super soft tire, so it might take him a few laps before he actually gets to make a lot of moves, but I
He's got
imagine
a good
that
exit actually. Making a move in the Red Bull. Oh, but now he backs off.
oh yeah, look at this. He
Oh, Jesper. Oh, Jesper's made a mistake. He spun. The leader has spun. He's now dropped to
from
10th.
pole down to 10th at the moment now,
Yeah, those
defending
hypers are
from
dead.
Jure Marusic.
He's overheated his hypers, I think. Losing it.
Yeah, could this be an indication that the hypers will start to go off for all of the hyper runners now, or...
Now, I'm quite surprised it's only lasted 3 laps. It should be able to last on at 6 laps. So he's either really...
Oh, and look at this, the fight for the lead. The
pilot.
2 Force Indias going at it. It is Vasilis in the lead at the moment, but McGinn, can he go for a move? He's not going for a move this time. The last sector, not many places to make moves there, but I do know that it is possible to go for a dive on this hard braking zone they're coming up to. It does not look like McGinn is going for that. Might be
Lewis
a little
Marshall is
too early.
absolutely flying.
I can see that he's side by side with Nick Van Gelder. Van Gelder is on the hypers. It's starting to look like the hypers are fading off quickly now.
Cameron Olsen passes.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh, look at this. The Sauber, the Renault and the Red Bull. So close there. And I think that
Matthew's
is...
absolutely flying.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Oh,
think
he's
it's
making a
time
move
to
on Nick.
pit for the
Oh, Nick's
hypers.
just lost it. He stuck a half drive with him. Oh. That was a
Nick,
big
yeah.
crash. Nick and Sam has lost a bit of his wing, I think. Yeah, lost his end plate.
Well, Sam has had a pretty good start too. He started, I think it was 14th, and he's up to 8th. We
Cameron
also
Edwards
have...
actually challenging Matthew.
Oh yeah, look at this. It's the battle between the Renault, the Williams, and the Sauber.
At the battle for the lead, as Francis now lost the position to his teammate.
Oh,
Ilias is
but
absolutely...
right now we're having a look at Matthew, who's past Renee van der Stap now, he's up to 5th place.
And I think he started 14th.
14th or 15th, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sandro though, he's had a good start too. He's still on the hypers, as we can see that that France is making. Oh, what happened to Vasilius? He just went
He doesn't
way
really
off in
do
the
it.
second to last corner. As we can
I
see
know
that
Sandro's the
Marshall.
only person on the hypers who's not struggling much. Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's
not.
struggling. I saw that in the first corner now. He's struggling too. And I
I feel like he
think,
should have put it then if he's now struggling
yeah,
this much. Yeah, oh, I thought Matthew went then.
Sandro has had a good opening 4 laps, but I think his hypers are dead now. He's losing position after position now, and if it continues to this, he's gonna lose at least 1 more position at the end of this lap.
As Lewis Marshall is currently 3rd place.
He's crawled his way up to 3rd place at the moment. So it's been a good start for Marshall too. Sandro had a really good start, but his hypers is just falling off. As we see Matthew and Renee battling it out. Matthew is in 4th place now. But I did actually forget to try to guess the podium, but from what we see now, want to have a guess?
I think the Force India's definitely going to be on the podium, and then either Lewis or Matthew for 3rd or 2nd. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
This is quite surprising. Vasilius is pitted on 5 laps ultras.
That is an early pit stop. I don't know why, but look at this now.
Already.
Matthew Older on the back of Lewis Marshall. Marshall, the championship leader. Can he keep it?
Cool.
Oh, look at this. Older is getting such better exits. And he's tucking into the slipstream. I'm getting a horrible camera angle.
Yeah, same, yeah.
But Matthew is going past, and he will have an easy overtake there.
I feel like Matthew's running less downforce than Lewis. Because on the straight, he was just...
I don't know, that could be the slipstream. It could have been that he's managed his ERS better. Because it looks like he's pulling away in the corners too, so...
Yeah. All Marsh has to do is look after his tyres, get out of the dirty air. Because that dirty air ain't going to help his tyres at all. It's freaking the best for tyre wear.
So, as we are on lap 6 now, we can see that the biggest winner at the opening of this race is Matthew Older. He's moved up 11 places. Then you have Renee, he's moved up 7 places. You have Samuel Brandt and Jure Marusic, who's moved up 8 places. The big losers are definitely the Hypersoft runners, as we have Nick van Gelder, who struggled, has moved down 11 places.
Yeah, Nick van Gelder, sorry.
Although he has made a stop too, but... So, where is the battles at the moment now?
Pitted.
Yeah, he's pitting.
For hypers.
For hypers. So he's gonna go hypers, ultras, I guess? Or... But then Sam, he started on the supers, I think.
Yeah, I think he did start on the... I think that's a mistake from his pit crew to put him on hypers. Especially if people only manage to last their hypers for 4 laps.
But look at this, the Red Bull of Jure Marusic and the Haas of Samuel Brandt is really giving Cameron Weston-Edwards a fight right now. As we can see that the Red Bull is passing him into the chicane. The Haas is trying to cut back. He's not... I got to say, I've tried to do the cutback there many times. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It's just too tight. You can make it. And oh, Weston Edwards going wide there, but he is still... Oh, and look at this. A brilliant move by Samuel Brandt, even though he might have pushed
Even
Cameron a little wider.
Yeah, Cameron's rear tyre did hit the wall there.
Yeah, but
It looks
yeah,
like
it
Cameron's
looks
pitting.
like... Yeah, he has been struggling then, I think.
A lot
Cameron,
of people
what
really
will
actually
he go on
struggling
to
on
then?
ultras. I thought they'd have lasted at least 10 laps.
Well, I did a PSGL race around Abu Dhabi not a long time ago. I think the ultras were good for about 10 or 11 laps. So it is a little surprising to see how this is going, as we see that René van der Stapp is going past Marshall into the chicane after the first long straight. Can Marshall get
Looks
a
like
better
Marshall is
exit?
running as well.
Ah, he did not get a better exit.
I've now noticed Matthew is catching Francis very slowly.
Yeah, he is. It's not there. We have the battle at the moment, as we can see that Marshall is trying to get back at René, but it looks like he's losing time.
Yeah, I think he needs to pit for the supers, go for a long stint.
Yeah, I do know, when I think about it, I do remember my PSGL race around there, and tire temps were actually bigger issue than I thought it would be. So it might be
Yeah,
overheating, and if I can remember correct, it was the front left, no, front right tire that overheated, as we do see Marshall going into the pit.
I'll keep an eye and see what tire he goes on.
In the
Looks like they're
meantime,
putting him
Vasilius is doing a move on Marusic into the first corner.
Oh, he had a 5-second stop and go as well. Oh, that ain't gonna help.
Oh, that is not gonna help now.
He comes out on the super soft, so yeah, he's definitely going for the long stint now.
That is a lot. That is a lot of laps though. 19 laps on the supers, and he can only do 8 laps
Yeah.
on the ultras.
So the close spot on
Interesting.
track, I think, is Matthew and Francis.
Oh yeah, I can see that now.
Last lap, the gap was
Matthew
3
is
seconds, but
right
now
behind
it's like
Francis, and look at this. He's trying to get a move. I got to say, into that corner, going around the outside is actually a good possibility of making the move stick, as you
Francis
will
is
have the inside in the
struggling
next
on
corner.
those tyres.
But look at this, Matthew's right on his back. The Force India driver. 4 poles this season now, but only 1 victory. Will it end like this again? Yeah, Matthew. Oh, and it looks like Matthew is getting a better exit there. He's looking to make a move, but Francis is going defensive. Keeps the position at the moment, but it's just a matter of time now. As they go through this first sector, will we see a dive?
Past him quickly. His tyres must be overheating.
Matthew's being patient, and he gets the time penalty.
Oh,
He's going to try to get a better exit from this corner. A little slide out of it,
Yeah,
but
he got a better one. Oh no, Francis now got him.
Yeah, I think Matthew might be running a bit more downforce than some other people, but he's going to go for the outside here. Francis is not giving him much room, and he does keep his position.
Matthew won't be having that. He'll get past him now quite easily.
Yeah, look at...
Oh!
Oh! I think Francis
France
was
needs to watch out
looking
with
to
his
go
defending.
defensive there, but... In the meantime, do we have any other battles on track right now?
Yeah, Jesper and Marshall.
Oh yeah. Let's have a look at Marshall then, trying to go past Lempinen. Lempinen, who was the pole sitter, then span on his hypers. I don't see him ending up on the podium now, especially with those supers already 6 laps old.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Starting to
No, I can see
close up
Matthew.
on halfway through the race now, and... Ooh. 2 close battles now. Yeah, and Marshall will try to go past McGinn on the straight again. I mean Older if I said Marshall, but I meant Older. Older will be trying to go for the inside, and Francis is squeezing
Yeah,
him as
Matthew's got
tight
him.
as possible, and... Oh, and
Okay.
Francis gets a tank slapper. Older
Ah,
losing half of his
bit of
front
his
wing.
wing. Oh, that isn't going to help Matthew.
Nah, and Francis yet again squeezing him tight, trying to brake late.
Ah,
Oh,
more
I see
wings
some
come
more
off
debris.
Matthew. If Francis can't like fight him, he might as well just let him go.
Ah, it looks like Francis is set on not letting him getting a big gap now. As we can see that, oh, Alder going for the inside move there, might be a little frustrated after that battle, eh? But yeah, that
Yeah, I
front
understand if
wing
he is.
is going to hurt him now. Run lap 10, no,
Yeah, it's
lap
going to ruin his
11.
right rear. Right rear,
Francis,
and he's pitting.
yeah, he's
Ah,
bidding. Alright, so then it is a question,
is he
what...
going to a two-slot?
Yeah, he have to. Well, I think he have to.
Yeah, he's going to ultras. There's ultras not
Yeah.
going to last at the end, especially if people only can last in 10 laps.
Sorry about that. As we can see that Samben Elven is right behind Cameron Weston Edwards now, but he... I don't know, I don't think we will get the move done now because he is on the hypers. I don't understand why he went on the hypers when he did. He should have went to ultras, and because those hypers will
Yeah.
be done in a lap or two.
As I've now noticed, Francis and Vasilius are now running 1 and 2.
Oh, but look at this battle between Marshall, Matthew, and Marusic in the Red Bull. All close to each other. We do have, I think it is Samuel and Renee right ahead of them too. As we can see that Matthew is trying. Matthew did make the move on Marshall there.
Yeah, Marshall, I think, braked a bit late and ran wide. There's now Matthew's trying to get
This,
past the other Haas driver. Matthew is flying and the Renault cuts the corner.
yeah, look at this. This is a battle between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers.
Matthew is absolutely flying. Now his next target is Sandro.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Matthew is absolutely flying on those ultra soft tires, and he will be looking to make a
Francis pitted.
quick move. And yeah, Francis has finally pitted over to the
Oh, this is going to be
super soft.
close.
No, Francis is still ahead of
Even with
Alder.
that wing change, Matthew has gained some time. I think early.
Yeah, definitely. Matthew has had a quick lap after he went out of the pit. He's cleared away, I think, 5 or 6 drivers in one lap.
Yeah, I don't
Impressively.
think Matthew's now going to be on the podium now, though, since he's going to have to pit again.
Well, I wouldn't say so. I mean, some of these drivers will have to pit again. Vasilius, I'm not sure if he has to pit again, but he did pit early for the supers. Francis, he's sitting in a good position, not 10 seconds behind his teammate. On fresh supers, he's definitely gonna be able to take it to the end. As we have Weston Edwards passing Sam Van Elven. And Van Elven on 6 laps old hypers, he will not be able to pull those tires much longer.
Yeah, I
Question
think it's
though
up to
is,
Vijay to do that.
if he's
So,
pitting
he needs to go
now,
supers.
yeah, he will need to go supers. He can't take ultras 14 laps. Well, maybe actually.
Oh,
Oh, and yeah, those hypers looks done.
I've now noticed that bug has come back. Wait, all you can hear is the engine overrevving.
Oh, yeah, I'm keeping away of having that up because yeah, the lawnmower sound. I don't want that. But look at this. Alder once again right at the back of
Oh, it's
McGinn.
Jesse's retired.
Oh,
Oh,
Lempinen.
I must have lost it. I think he lost it in
Where?
turn 3. Turn 3, where he just spun, I think, and just ran into
I'm
the wall.
trying to get a look at it. Yeah, he lost it there. Ah, that is a big shame. Lempinen's race has not gone where he wanted it to, but we do see that Matthew has gone past McGinn now. He will try to defend, but McGinn is able to make the move back and is up to second place again. And I'm just saying, Jared, take a look at the
Yep.
time distance between Francis and Vasilius. It's going down quickly.
Quickly. Yeah.
I think,
Especially if those tyres are fresh.
yeah, I think Vasilius has lost around 4 seconds in the last lap or two.
Yeah. Yeah, that time is going down. Because Matthews
Yeah.
just at the fast start at 1:37.7.
Yeah, he's gonna be looking to get past McGinn again. My voice
Oh,
today.
Sandro spun it.
Oh no. Ah, that's
He
a big
just ran
shame
wide
for
and
Sandro. League owner, number 69. So many people with number 69. I wonder why. But yeah, that is a big shame for Sandro. I was just going to say that I was going to take a guess at the podium. I would say Francis, Vasilius, or you know what? I'm gonna say Francis, Rene, and I'm gonna take a wild guess at Alder. I was going to put Sandro for third place, but with that spin,
yeah.
oh, he's
I
actually on
wouldn't
the
count
ultras too.
Lewis Marshall out though. I wouldn't count Lewis Marshall out. I don't
Nah,
think
but
he's going to pit again.
nah, I don't think so. But he will be having to do a lot of laps on those supers.
True.
That's why I think it will be Francis, Rene, and Alder in the end. When Alder pits over to a new fresh set of ultras in the end, he's going to catch quickly on everyone. But yeah, this gap between Vasilius and Francis is going down quickly, and there is no doubt about it. Vasilius won't be having the lead for long. As
Yeah,
we can
Matthew really needs to make his move.
that's for sure. He needs to get past Francis. But Francis is definitely not making it easy, pushing him home to the ass to almost off track there.
Ah, Matthew's done it. Yes, Matthew has finally got past Francis.
Ah, my God. Yeah.
Francis is coming back at Matthew quite quickly, actually. Jeez. He's like a bullet. Matthew's trying to go on the outside, elbows on the inside.
I got to say, these drivers are really giving us something to look at. You know, I'm just saying that it wouldn't surprise me if these two were actually in a party with each other too, so would be interesting
Yeah.
to know how the atmosphere is there then. But look at this, they can see Vasilius now. Oh, Matthew getting pushed wide. Some of this defending from McGinn today, he's been hard defensively.
As I've now noticed, 1.9 seconds off Vasilius. Vasilius, if he's not careful, he will have to pit on some fresher tyres if he wants to keep lead. If he's not careful, Matthew and Francis.
Oh, and look, I'm getting a horrible view as Matthew is trying to go past Francis again. He will be going wide, but he is past, but
I think that's a mistake on his end.
yeah, I think he should try to wait for the second straight next time, because he's done this a few times now, gone past, but he's getting passed by McGinn on the second DRS straight then. But look at this, this is evolving to a three-way battle in just a few corners now. This is kind of the only battle we have on track right now. We do have a battle between 7-Eleven and Samuel Brandt too.
Yeah. It's now Matthew. Oh, tried it in turn one. Didn't really work. He needs to be careful because those tyres are going to be overheating. Being behind both horse and use dirt, yeah.
Well, the question now is, with Matthew right behind him, will Francis be able to focus on passing Vasilius? Oh, and look at that corner. And he's managing to tuck into the slipstream of Vasilius. Oh, that is pushing him a bit too wide. But they're going 3 wide. What is Vasilius doing? He's wheel banging
is being
like
really dirty right now. He needs to watch his.
Yeah, well, he was definitely banging a bit too much with the wheel for my liking, but
Matthew's actually gone and done this. He's now in the lead.
well, that is a late break. This battle is getting really heated, and it's 10 laps left.
Yeah, there's no way Matthew's going to take those tyres another 10 laps. No way, he will have to pit.
Yeah, Matthew will have to pit one more time. I think at least, I don't think he can take those ultras for 10 more laps. Especially not with all this battling he's doing. And Vasilius, he looks like he might as well can pit too, because...
No, if I was him, I wouldn't really, because if those tyres can last 20 laps, by lap 25 his tyres will be 20 laps old. There'll be only a few laps left, so if I was him, I'd just save the car really, save everything and just cool, his tyres down.
And Marshall is pitting again.
Oh, I'm surprised, 10 laps in supers.
Might be tire temps, that is his problem. But yeah, as you were saying though, Vasilius might be pitting, he might not be pitting, but... he does have Rene behind him with 5 laps fresher supers. As we do see Matthew going for the inside on McGinn again.
There's a lap car ahead of them
These
who
two
is in
guys,
AI
yeah,
mode
and that. Oh,
because he
this
left
might
the
be
session.
helping Matthew actually. Oh,
Oh,
McGinn going
Matthew's got him.
deep. Can that? They're going side by side again. This time, Francis
I've
going a
got to give
little
Francis
wider.
and Matthew
Oh, it looked
best
like.
wheel-to-wheel racing around here. Is that Red Bull drivers now rejoined?
Fun fact from the Fox today too. That should have been Jesper's first DNF of the season. Unfortunately, as he was on pole. Not on pole, but second, I think. But yeah, Francis though still managing to keep ahead of Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew's tyres must feel awful. Frank's tyres must be a lot better than his.
Yeah, well, we are on lap 8 on Matthew's tires now. They should be starting to fade off. I'm starting to wonder actually if Matthew is going to try to risk it to the end with these tires or not, because
It'd be very stupid in my opinion because you could get a puncture in like 6 laps. 26 lap
of
26 you
course,
probably get a
but
puncture.
then again, if he pits, he's not going to be able to get the win. He might be able to get back to second, as Vasilius's tires will be bad in the end.
Well, pit stop round here is
Renee's
25
will be
seconds, isn't it?
decent. And Sandro is on. Both Sandro and Lewis pitted over to Ultras a couple of laps ago. So Cameron will probably have some battling to be doing soon, as he sits in 5th place, but Lewis only 2 seconds behind on fresh Ultras.
Oh, this facility is pitting.
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought he was going to
Are
do
you
that.
surprised?
But yeah, I
Is he going
guess
to go hyper radiant ultras?
this would be like, I don't know, round 10 between
Yeah.
these guys. Oh, and Matthews spins it out of turn 3.
Oh no, he's out. He's did exactly as his teammate, Jesper.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh, that is
a
very
big
unfortunate.
shame.
Did he? Which wheel did he lose? Did he lose his rears or did he lose his front?
From right. I guess that's then victory for Francis. I don't see anyone catching 14 seconds,
Yeah.
especially with him being on the freshest supers, except for Samuel down in
Oh,
11th.
what a move from Lewis there on Cameron.
I did not catch that as I.
He going around the outside in the chicane.
Uh-huh. Well, Cameron might be able to get. Yeah. Looking at the tires, I don't think he will be able to get back at that.
Nah, you could tell straight away in the straight. Even when he had DRS, Lewis was pulling away.
Yeah. Right now, it looks like.
Francis is going to win.
Kamikaze. Well, Kamikaze's pick for the win in Alder is then out. I guess it was my pick for the win and yours pick. Your pick. No, you didn't pick him for the win, did you?
No. Don't think I did. My memory's not that good. I can remember certain things, not that. I think I picked Matthew or Marshall to win.
Well, it looks like we
Unfortunately not.
will have a battle emerging between the Ferrari of Stahl and the Renault of Semben Elven, both on 5 laps old ultras, so equal terms when it comes to tires.
All those Red Bull drivers
as
just. Oh no!
Van
And he's lost
Gelder
in the
has
same
retired.
place as Matthew and Jesper.
Not sure,
People are
but
struggling.
watching this battle between, well, it's not a battle yet, but hopefully it'll be a battle in a lap. Might be a battle between the Renault, Red Bull and Ferrari. I did not see if he crashed it in turn 3, but
Yeah, I think he did crash
could
it in
have
turn
been.
3 because it was green flags when I was on board with the other Red Bull driver.
Mm.
He just passed Matthew and then he retired.
But yeah, there is one battle on track at the moment now. It is between a Red Bull, Renault and a Ferrari. That would be Jure Marusic, Sam van Elven and Dion Staal. The Renault and Ferrari though on the Ultras. They
Yeah,
might be able to get past Marusic now, but
they're
with
gonna have to be
5
careful
more
near the
laps
end.
though, those Ultras, if people are struggling with
Tyre wear and tyre temps.
tire temps, yeah, then we might see them struggling with keeping Marusic behind them if they can pass in the next couple of laps. But it's a three-way battle. It's the only battle on track after we
Yeah, it's the
lost
closest battle.
Matthew. Guess we gotta call bottle on Matthew today. Had to
Oh,
sneak
not
that
on
in there.
there.
As we
Yeah,
can see that Sam van Elven is trying to make a move on Marusic. Already in turn 3 he's trying to make a move. He's going to go for the
very risky.
dive in turn 4 though. And he might have made it stick actually, yeah.
Yeah, he did the exact same move what Lewis Marsh did on Cameron West Edwards.
Yeah, but oh, and look at this. Dion Stahl going on the inside in
They're going
the
fast, don't
hairpin there.
worry. Because now
And
it's. Ooh.
Marusic. Can Marusic get back at them? Does not look like it at the moment, but Dion Stahl though, he is close to Sam van Elven. Give us some action on the last few laps, guys.
As
Just
the
keep it clean too.
biggest
Oh, and
gainer, Rennie has
oh,
moved up 9 positions to get second.
yeah, he
He
might
has to
be
get
the
happy with
biggest
that.
winner. But Francis though, he's sitting comfortable in first place with 17 seconds. But Dion Stahl and Sam van Elven is not done. They're battling for a position. It is the battle for 7th place. At the moment, it might look a little like Dion Stahl has it. So the Ferraris are now in 6th and 7th. I think they started in 5th and 6th, so
Yeah.
they've each lost 1 position, but I think they
Yeah, but
both
they've both been
spun.
spun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so not a bad result in the end then. Yeah, it looks like this battle is close to over now, but Dion went a little wide there.
He's going to have to be careful with his tyres though. There's 4 laps left. As you've noticed,
But
Matthew
you
only
know,
lasted 9 laps in his Ultras and
as
lost
one
it.
battle is over, a new battle emerges. Vasilius just half a second behind Rene right now, and he's on 3 laps old Ultras against 12 laps old Supers. So he should be able to make a move, hopefully. And you see that he is aggressive. He's going into the last corner on the inside. He has already made the move stick.
As Basilius, it took second, so Force India now running a 1 and 2. He caught 10 seconds within 5 laps.
Yeah. Well, of course, being on those fresh ultras have helped that. And this is why I thought that Basilius should have pitted and not risked staying out on the supers. His
Yeah.
tires is way faster than Renee's.
I know it's
And
Daniel in the Toro Rosso in 13th, DNF in turn 3. I think
oh,
all the
has he
times have
went
actually
off there
been in
too?
turn 3. Yeah, I think all of them have been in that corner.
Well, I know Matthew went out there. I believe Jesper went out there, and
Yeah.
Nick. So yeah. Well, well, this battle might not be over. Actually, it looks like Renee is trying to fight back and still wants that second place. I think it will be hard though with those ultras against those old supers, but we'll see.
Oh, Francis pitting.
Uh, doesn't look like he has front wing damage.
No, I don't. He's just changed tires to hypers. Does this mean
Over to the hypers.
Basilius is going to take the lead?
Alright, this
But I don't
is
think it'll be for
interesting.
long.
Maybe Francis has heard us saying that there wasn't any battles anymore.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's going to be. Will he be behind Rene?
Yeah, he will. Oh no, no, he won't.
No, I
Francis
will
is
be
behind his
right
teammate.
ahead.
Now his teammate.
And
Is it
he's
going to be a
right
teammate
behind
battle?
his teammate.
Or is Basilius going to let him through? Hopefully not.
Mm, I hope not. I hope we'll see a battle. And look at this, Francis. Yeah, I'm getting a horrible picture right now.
Yeah, it looks like Basilius didn't want to battle him actually. He just didn't even defend like he was doing with
Well,
Matthew.
I mean, those fresh hypers, there isn't much chance of holding him back then. I think this might be that Francis was that confident that they wanted to go for fastest lap.
Yeah, I think he did get one of your predictions right though. Both Force Indies on the podium.
Yeah. They're missing a Williams there though. Older.
Yeah.
It's a big shame, but I got to say though, it's rarely you see Matthew making mistakes like that. And oh, we do have a battle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Cameron catching
Yeah,
Sandro?
well, nah,
Or
he's been passed
is...
by Sandro.
Alright, I was gonna
But
say, how
look
the
at
hell
this
is it 8
Samuel
minutes 50
Brandt
catching him?
on Jure Marusic down in ninth. If the yeah, but the battle might look like it's over already with
Yeah, that's over definitely.
Samuel being on those fresh tires.
There's Cameron Weston's teammate has just been lapped.
Oof. Jan Holm, the Danish driver. Let's have a look at Francis then. He's definitely going to go for fastest lap now.
Yeah, he's definitely
I
gonna take it.
do believe I saw him being up in the first sector. Yeah, he's up on his time in the second sector too by almost 1.5 seconds. I do believe though in Bahrain he went for fastest lap on. Well, that was the
Yeah.
first stint though, but I do believe he spun because of it, so I really don't hope he spins it going for the fastest lap now. Around the second to last corner, into the last corner now. He looks to have a good way through there, and he does set. Didn't? Yeah, he set fastest lap with a
Yeah,
35.6.
1:35.6. So now he's on his last lap.
And I believe that we can surely say that nobody will beat that, as he is on the freshest tires and the fastest tires.
Oh, hang
And
on, Lewis Marshall has took third place.
Yeah, Renee has gone into the pit for a set of hypers.
Hypers. That is a bit odd, especially there was only one lap left.
Yeah, and his ultra, no, his supers I think was 16 laps, so they should have been able to go to the end. I don't know.
Yeah, especially if Cameron's managed to make the Supers go 19 laps. Like you're saying that, Cameron's tyres have now started to get the lines in the middle of the tyre. So he's not, he has to be careful.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Looks
He's
like he's
really
struggling
struggling.
too.
Francis is absolutely flying.
Francis is a couple of
Started pole,
hundreds
he's
of
going to do the
his
double.
the triple.
Triple.
Yeah, pole, fastest lap, and race win.
Oh yeah, triple, yep, that's that.
As
Well
he's
deserved.
coming to the line now, Francis McGinn, the winner of Abu
Abu
Dhabi
Dhabi.
SRL. Oh,
Whoa,
Cameron has
Cameron's out.
retired.
Oh, don't tell me he had a puncher.
Oh, he's
I
on the straight.
think his tyres went. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's upsetting.
Well, we've had
Vasilius got
Vasilius
second.
in second. I did not catch him, but we
Lewis Marshall
also
has to be
have
happy with third.
Marshall in third. He's going to retain his championship lead as Nick van Gelder was the closest one. Rene van der Stap in
Take fourth.
fourth. I got to say I really
And we'll
don't
take
understand his pit
fifth.
stop, but
Yeah,
Sandro
he was a bit
Tulis
stupid.
in fifth. His Ferrari teammate in sixth, so both Ferraris finishing in the positions they started. Oh, and look at this, we actually have... Uh, you know, it might be possible for Samuel to pass
Yeah, he could.
Sam Elvin out of this corner if he gets a really good exit, and he
He's gonna done
does!
it. Oh, what a
Oh!
move!
Talk about on the line! So it's Samuel in seventh, right ahead of Sam and Elvin. As
He's
we
got
have
to do in the
Marusic
ultras as
coming
well.
in at ninth.
Oh, it was brilliant.
But yeah,
There
look
we
at
go.
that. Passing him on the line.
Force India's got the 1-2 with
Got to
Lewis
say, a
Marshall in third
brilliant move.
place.
But yeah, Abu Dhabi. Francis McGinn with his fourth pole. I don't know how many passes lap he's had, probably a couple. And his
Yeah, I
second
think
win
it'll
of
be
the
two.
year. Unfortunately though, I don't believe he's that close to Marshall in the championship. Well, he's closing, shall we see, Marshall getting 15 points for third, right?
Yes, it goes from
So that
518 to
means
15.
he's catching 10 points, which
Yeah.
means that McGinn should now just be 3 points behind Marshall in the championship.
Well, from 10th to 16th are all DNF.
Yeah, so as we see then, we have Francis McGinn in first, ahead of his teammate Vasilios Belletsiotis, something like that. Lewis Marshall in third, that rounds up the podium. We then have Rene van der Stap, a weird pit stop on the second to last lap. Then Sandro Duelis in fifth, followed by his Ferrari teammate in sixth. Samuel Brandt in seventh, doing a brilliant move in the last corner.
Yeah.
Sam van Elven, Belgian, in eighth. Jure Marusic in ninth, and well, I guess Cameron actually gets 10th, even though he
Yeah, because he
DNF'd
didn't
on the
see.
last lap because Funs van Hoekten and Jan Holm was lapped. Yeah. And the rest of the
Oh, I feel
drivers
sorry
then,
for
they
him.
actually DNF'd, so I guess we'll have a few minutes, so let's at least get the podium runners into the party if they are available. That should be Francis? Oh yeah, oh damn it, I don't have him though. We're gonna try to find him. It was Billy 1704. I think it was. Alright, alright. Yeah, so let's see if we can get the podium runners into the party then.
Right, Marshall, the first one to join.
And Marshall is here, so I guess we'll start off with Marshall then. Marshall, you ended in third, and you started seventh, I believe.
Yeah.
So, quali, I think I saw you said that all your laps was awful, so just take us quickly through the quali then. What happened?
My supers run, I just messed up second sector. Then I was going for another lap, then Sandro blocked me in the last sector, and I wasn't happy. So you may have saw me cut the corner, pretend I was going to take him out, but I was never going to take him out. I was just trying to scare him.
Alright. Yeah.
And the ultras run was just awful as well.
Alright, so in the race though, I can't remember exactly who you battled, but you pitted quite early from the ultras, didn't you?
Yeah, I was struggling with overheating fronts all race.
Yeah, was it the front right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I believed.
I was just struggling nearly all race.
I guess you were intending to go for the one stop from ultras to supers, but that turned into two stop, I believe.
Yeah, my plan was to do one stop, but I think the fighting at the start, because I was mid-pack, cost me my tyres kind of overheating. Then
So
I
can't remember exactly who you were in battles with, but
neither can I.
Nah, neither can you. well, in the end though, you did end up in third place in the end after starting seventh, so that's gotta be good. You retain your championship lead by 3 points to Francis. How do you think about that?
Quite scary.
Well, still a third place, so congratulations on that, and I guess you guys are racing next weekend too, so good luck for that. Should be then. Yeah, I can't remember the next race. Australia, I think, actually.
Yeah, it's Australia.
Oh, turn 12. Looking forward to that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, good luck with that. And Francis.
It's actually 1 point gap.
1 point.
Oh, is it 1 point? Oh, because the fastest lap, probably.
Fastest lap in pole.
Oh, is that points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, then it is 1 point, yeah.
Oh, but that's even more scary then.
Well, Francis, I believe you started on pole, right?
Yes.
And I think your quali didn't start out the best. I remember you had a big tank slapper, or that was Vasilius, I think. But yeah, take us through the quali then.
I only managed to get out on track with 10 minutes to go, since when I was first in the lobby, none of my setups had loaded, so I had to leave the lobby and rejoin to actually get my setups. And then once I joined, I'd done a banker lap on supers, and only just managed to get in an ultra lap, but it was good enough for Paul, so.
I thought you was eating pasta.
Definitely.
Bacon roll this time.
In the race, though, I do remember your race quite good because I remember the battles with Matthew.
Yeah, those were really fun.
Yeah, it was some wheel banging and some hard defending, to say for
Yeah,
sure.
it was a bit aggressive.
But
Shame
yeah,
he binned it though.
was your mindset just to keep him behind you to make sure he wouldn't pull out the gap and be able to be close enough when he went onto the ultras in the end?
Um, yeah, but after he pit for ultras, I knew that since he pitted so early, I knew that he wasn't able to make it to the end. So even if he did get past me, I wasn't that worried because I knew I'd either catch back up to him or that he would pit again.
All right. Well, some of the battling when. Now wait, I gotta wonder when you went in for the last pit stop over to the hypers, were you actually sure that you would be able to keep your lead, or did you know that you would lose the lead for the
Um,
moment?
I knew it was going to be close, but I didn't want to leave it much later. Basilios told me that he had front wing damage, so I knew it wouldn't be a problem getting past him anyways.
All right, well that's something we didn't knew, so guess it was a little more controlled then.
Yeah.
Second win of the season though, I remember Bahrain where you span. Was that a concern when you went for fastest lap?
Yes.
Well, I did mention it actually, so. Well,
But the
still though.
hypers were very grippy, so
Well, yeah, that
unlike
is
those
true.
mediums.
Well, second win of the season, fourth pole. I don't know how many fastest laps you got, but you got a triple today. I guess you're happy with the race then?
Yes. Very happy with the result.
And only 1 point behind Lewis in the championship. So, Australia. Good track?
Um, haven't drove the track in maybe a month,
Ah,
but
I see. Well, have you had the issue with turn 12 as we've seen many people have had an issue with?
it's turn 12 that chicane
Yeah,
in the fast
Yeah,
yeah.
lane.
the fast left right.
Yeah, I've had problems with that.
Uh, I know I have had problems with it. Marshall had problems with it before, so guess I just gotta say congratulations on your second win of the season, triple, and good luck for Australia.
Thank you.
Oh, we'll need it.
Well, I don't believe we got Vasilis in, no.
His
Um,
mic's extremely quiet, so you probably wouldn't even hear him.
Oh.
Alright. Is there anyone we would.
Maybe Renee.
Let's.
I want to see what he was doing. Was he?
I want to ask Samuel a quick question at least.
Cooled the tyres down, but unfortunately I had that puncture and then.
Well, Jared, as you helped me out today, as I'm not been off the top of my game, anything you would like to ask these drivers for?
We surprised Lewis to get third place after Renee pitted.
Just a little bit. I was. Well, I knew I was catching Renee, but I knew I couldn't catch him like 10 seconds for a lap. So when he pitted, I was a bit confused.
Well,
Yeah.
I seen we gotten Samuel Brandt into the stream too, so Samuel,
Yeah.
as far as I gotten to know then, this is your first points paying finish of the year.
Second.
Yes, on track it would be. I got 1 point in Russia, but that was for the fastest lap. So this is the first legitimate points I score on position on track this season.
I see. Well, I guess you probably know what I want to know. When you did your last pit stop,
Yes.
did you think you would catch, I think it was Sam and Elvin for 7th?
I wasn't thinking that I would catch Sem. I was in a chat with Sandro and some of the other guys who were battling with Cameron, and they told me that Cameron was dropping off like 10 seconds a lap. So I was probably only expecting to overtake Jura and maybe hope for an overtake on Cameron on the last lap, but I wasn't expecting to catch Sem that much through the last sector at all, because I wasn't catching him that much in the first 2 sectors, but in the third sector he really dropped off.
Alright, well, last corner then.
Yeah.
I said you could probably try to go for it with a good exit there, and surprising you pulled it off over the line.
Yeah, it was probably more down to Sem sliding out when he put his power down. I saw he got a tongue slapper when he accelerated onto the curb and he almost spun, and that I just needed to like get a clean exit out of the corner to overtake him. So it was more down to that, I think, than me having a good exit in the end.
I see. Well, still though, a great overtake over the line, basically.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
have
was
gotten a
really
good
happy with
feeling
that.
by that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy because, like, as we mentioned earlier, that this is the first time I finish in a points-paying position this season, and with the bad luck I've had so far this season, crashing out of the first one of like 3 of the first 4 races to come here and then take a points-paying position, as well as Lewis also taking a podium. I think that's massive for Haas as well. So hopefully we can do something about that in the future and also keep up the momentum that we have right now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, as you mentioned it, I didn't actually realize straight away that you and Lewis are teammates in Haas, but Haas, Force India. Do you think you
Yeah.
can challenge the Force Indias for the constructor?
No.
I think it's more down to Lewis challenging the Force Indias because to be honest, I would classify myself as a league below those 3. Like, they are massively faster than me. At some tracks I have some good grip, especially here in Abu Dhabi and some of the upcoming tracks as well, where I maybe can like be on par with them if they have a surprised retirement. But to be honest, I'm just there to pick up like the assisting points to Haas to maybe see if we can win the title. And I think it's going to be Lewis who's going to challenge the 2 Force India dudes for the World Championship, to be honest.
Interesting. Well, next track, Australia. Gonna ask you the same question as I did with Lewis and Francis. Is it a good track for you, and have you had problems with turn 12 there?
Last season I had some trouble with, not with turn 12, I think it was turn 3. I retired from the last season race. That was my last race before I retired from that season, so I had some problems in that one, but I have figured out also how to compensate for my problems with the traction. With the car, I've figured out the technique of getting a good setup this time. It might not be as fast as the other guys, but as long as I finish a race and maybe score some points, it counts in the end.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on your 7th place. What fun to see you passing him over the line there.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as glamorous as saying it to lose. Congratulations with 3rd place, but I'll take it anyway. The 7th.
First points paying position, except for that fastest lap though. So
yeah, I guess I can't be too mad about it, to be honest.
And not everyone can go for first place or podiums. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Like for me in IRL, I realize is that I'm not racing for podiums. I know I'm racing in the midfield, So,
Bottle, bottle, bottle.
and it was Matthew who did the bottle today.
I was in the car.
But I was
But I
surprised.
think by starting second to last, starting in what was it, 15 or 14, I think it was, because I had a qualifying ban.
15th,
To
I
come home,
believe.
yeah, to come home after also making contact with Neek when he spun across the track and smashing my front wing off, I think P7 is a very solid finishing
It's a
position
good
in the
finish,
end. Yeah.
definitely. Well, good luck for
Thank you.
Australia. If you haven't had a problem with turn 12, I definitely recommend you to try to race around Australia and see how turn 12 is. Could be a
We
problem.
will. We will,
I've
for
had
sure.
problems with it. We all have our problems with it. I can hear Lewis saying bottle in the background.
Yeah.
Well, I think we gotta call it the end for today then. I have more duties today, so
What
gotta thank you all for joining in the interview. Thank you all to the guys who's watched the stream. Shout out to Kamikaze, being at work but still managing to give me some information through the streams chat.
He must be happy with the American outfit today.
Well, then this has been SRL Season 4, Round 5 around Abu Dhabi. The commentary has been brought to you by me, Sondre Sorhaug, and Jared Fosbury today. Hopefully Kamikaze will be able to be back for the next few races. And that was that for today. See you on the next time I might be there.